Hey Scott, how's it going? Well, that's not good. Did you spill it just in, like on the floor? Did you get it on the arm? One time I spilled it all on my arm when I first started mixing with resin, and I had a whole crazy rash on my arm. That's when I was a noob and I was shaking up the bottle and I forgot to tighten up the cap. Hey, what's up, customizer? Ah, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, let me grab some of those zippers. Show you what I got. This way you can understand a little bit better. Alright, so where's my container? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, carpeting would have been a bitch. Hey Mimi, hey Henry. Yeah, late stream. My mother ended up in the hospital again this week, so I didn't get anything really done. So I'm just gonna kind of goof off for a bit. I wasn't sure if she was coming home today, but it looks like they might keep her for the weekend. She's doing fine and everything. It's a whole big story of mix-up with her meds, but so yeah, it's just all week long. I haven't really gotten much done. I've just been doing some painting here and there while I could. Yeah, she should. She should. It was just something we gotta work out at the assisted living. It's pretty I'm not even gonna get into it. It's just a crazy week. But now I'm starting like just kind of getting some stuff done. All right, so customizer, I'll kind of explain the zipper thing. Let's see. I do have. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, if you go online, you can, or you go into a hobby store, you can get zippers, right? They come like this. You know, you can zip these down. These are for like if you want to, you know, do cloth work type stuff. So they have this fabric on the side of them. So if you get a nice sharp X-Acto blade and you sort of cut off the fabric, you can get your zipper like this, right? And then from there, if you Dremel like a notch out of the boot area, you can put some like eaves in there and you can sort of squeeze the zipper in. Now I don't use these pieces on the zippers because as you can see, they're way too big for 1/4 scale. But if you go online like Amazon or you go on like eBay, you could probably find like a 15 pack of these things. And then if you want to, when you're ready to put it in, you put a very tiny dab of glue, like say like right here, you know, like right here at the bottom. Say you want to cut it like this kind of a piece to put in. On the opposite side of the zipper, not the part that is, you know, you see the opposite side, you put a little glue there to sort of like keep it like from splitting on you, because once it splits, it's a nightmare. And then if you have your zipper, you can sort of like, you know, it's like say you wanted to put a zipper down here, you kind of can put it in the area if you cut up a piece and you could put it in and stuff. So like say this side over here has got a little bit of that notching, you could do it. It's a little tricky, you gotta play with it. And then once you, you know, once you do what you saw on my thing, you can just prime it and paint it. So that's kind of what I use for the zippers. Now these are real zippers, like in scale for like our clothing. There is smaller zippers out there, but I've never been able to find one this long. I've only found ones that are like this long for like little coin purses. So you'd have to hunt down smaller zippers. They are out there, but you would have to really like hunt them down. So this is like what I've been using. So like see this zipper here? It's pretty much the same thing, scale. This was on the Harley Quinn, but this was inside her outfit. You couldn't really see it. But this is what they used to sort of zip up her outfit. So it's kind of like the same thing. I do have a smaller zipper. I'll show you. I think it's... Let me see. I have it... Unless I used it. Here we go. Yeah. So one time I was able to find a smaller zipper, right? A smaller zipper thing, but it was only this long. So it's kind of tricky to find a longer one that you can use a little bit more in scale. Well, he's just showing me an easier way to get zippers. You know, the good thing about this stuff is, you know, if you do a notch, you can sort of sit there and cut it, and then if you screw up, you get lots of extras for your money. I think it was only like 10 bucks at the time I bought all these zippers. I forgot how, but this was like years ago. So there's tons of times where I've cut it and then I actually split it by accident and I couldn't zipper it back up, so I would just throw it away and get another one. Yeah, if you but customize. Do me a favor though, if you ever in your travels find smaller zippers like in this scale, you can sort of see the scaling between these two. You see how it's smaller. If you ever find smaller zippers that are more in scale with statues that are longer, let me know too. Email me, or if you find like an Etsy page or like an eBay page, because I would love to get some smaller zippers and use it for like certain things, you know. But this is what I found so far. So you can see like I ordered like a 10-pack or whatever it was, and I have all this extra zipper stuff. So, and it goes a long way. It's like I'll probably might not ever use all these. Alright, sounds good, thank you. But, oops, I left one over here. Alright. So you finally got your printer all finished up? That's good. Alright, I did have a chance to sand these girls down. I think it was on Sunday and Monday I was doing some garage work, so I did a lot of sanding. But, like I said, it's been a bad week. Very bad week. I did work on the cop's hair a little bit. And I kind of had some extra Aves, so I sort of cleaned it up. I didn't get a chance to sand it down. So, kind of a not a good week, so. Jose, I got your text. What are you talking about? What am I painting? What are you going on about now? Oh, Iceman, I had a bad week. I was hoping Raz's stuff would come in the mail, but it didn't come in yet. My mother ended up in a hospital this week. Nothing major, just a mix-up with meds and her levels of blood thinner. So I just kind of been painting a one of the Supergirl items I'm working on, and I started up the Mary Jane because I figured I wasn't sure if I would have to get up and leave the house at any point. So I decided to just kind of do paint work this week. So this way, if I had to stop, I could just stop painting and get in the car. Because if I started sculpting anything and then I had to go pick her up or there was an emergency, I wouldn't be able to, do whatever. So I just kind of was painting. But at least I'm getting the Mary Jane going too, so getting that done. Oh, excuse me. Whew. So I'm thinking I'll just do a couple weird things tonight and that's it. Not sure if I have to bring her home tomorrow or she's staying the weekend yet. So it's always something. Always something. Alright, so I think I'll do the trim on her. Go over these to see if there's any other errors, and maybe I'll just work on Jacob's Supergirl chest symbol, and then that's it for the night. Yeah, it's just, it's the age. It's catching up to my parents, and if we're not at the doctor's, we're at the emergency room, I guess, now. But at least it's better the situation than it was 2 years ago. When we were in the emergency room, my mother's doing fine. It wasn't anything life threatening. It was just the blood levels were so screwed up with the thinner that the facility couldn't really manage it, so they sent her to the emergency room. So when she was in the emergency room, I said, I'm going to call the funeral home and see if we could get an early bird special going. She just looked at me like, Jesus. That's just my, it's just my humor, so. And then my aunts and uncles were calling and they want to know what's going on. I told my aunt, I said, I'll throw you in with the deal with my parents. We'll get you guys over there, early bird special. We'll get you thrown in that oven real fast. First time we were at this hospital, though, down here by me, there's a couple down here. So the one they sent her to was actually not bad. Pretty nice hospital. Better than the one I was used to up north. The one up north is like very compact and high on top of a hill. This one's actually, spread out and there's more parking. Free parking too, actually. hold on. Your nose is starting to run. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, let me check it out real quick. Let's see, got a whole bunch of emails just came in. Looks pretty good. You happy that you were able to do it yourself? That's good. It looks good. I mean, I really, just by looking at the picture, I could just see what you've done from the last picture you sent. But as long as it works for you. So I was thinking for the next group of projects, I was thinking of doing 2 items that people vote on, but I saw a really cool Vampirella kit, STL file. I was thinking of doing that, but doing something I want to do off of that one. Something that would be able to probably be thrown on eBay and sell to kind of fund the other projects. So I got it sort of an idea, and I was thinking that one I might turn into another Jessie from Pokemon, but it's a different pose. I think it might be kind of cool, so I'm kind of toying with that idea now. Still trying to plan some things out, because like every week now there's still more and more STL files coming out, so it's kind of a lot of choices. pretty much building a whole new machine. Well, you pretty much got your own factory going on. Might have to start hiring some people. You got any local guys you could like offer up like trades to do like printouts for somebody if they're local, just so you have somebody you could probably go and take a look at it, you know? Oh, trust me, I am trying to be free. I am trying. Every time I take like a couple steps forward, I take like 10 back. But that's more family stuff than anything that's kind of delaying me. Are you really like, it's like you gotta sell them as pre-painted items, and you don't want to just sell them as like unfinished kits and let people paint them? I mean, the reason why I say that is it's a lot more to have somebody else or paint them yourself when there's a lot of people out there who might want to do it themselves or hire a specific painter to do it. Okay. Alright, well, I guess that's where it is. I'll just give you a word of advice, though. If you outsource to other people, um, be careful of, like, even if it was, like, me taking it on, sometimes life gets in the way or there's delays, and then if you're doing it for somebody who bought a painted item, and say that painter, like me, you have a family crisis and you disappear for a while, it becomes a problem. So keep that in mind, because I know back in the day when before 3D printing and before like Onage started printing and painting kit runs, people were trying to find painters to outsource, and sometimes they would try to get like a painter to paint up like 25 of them, or even like 11, and then those painters would have a problem where they're married, they got kids and family, a full-time job or whatever, and then things became all hell and they were taking money, and it's just try not to get yourself caught in that situation. That's all I could say. That's just from past experience. I'm not saying any painters you deal with would do that, but it's known to happen in the past. That's why I try to not take on too much at a time in case something hits the fan. I forgot who's the painter. The one painter that worked for the company for the kits. I think it was Prototype Z. I think what happened is, they outsourced it to a couple different guys to paint up like 5 or 10, 15, and it became too much because you had to prep, paint, and get them all out. It gets kind of, yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, just learn from the lessons of the past is all. I'm not saying you'll mess it up, but it's, life just gets in the way of people and it becomes tough. That's why like I always say this story, a couple of the guys I know in the hobby that were friends back in the day, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna paint up like 15 items for this guy. It's a lot, I go, "You do realize you have a wife, a kid, you have a full-time job, and you want to paint up 15 of those?" A lot of people think, "Oh, it's easy. It's an assembly line. I'll paint them all the same." It's not. Like if you have 15 heads, 15 torsos, 15 sets of legs, 50, it's not as easy to. I tried it myself. It's a lot of work. That's why Chinese factories pump them out so fast, because you have one guy working on just this, and then another guy's working on just that. But yeah, there's a lot of good drama stories from back in the day. A lot of good drama stories. The good old days, before 3D printing and stuff. Alright. That's good enough for that line. I think for the cot, what I wanted to do was her piece here. Actually, I was looking at a lot of the carrot stuff. It's kind of more... We'll do it my way, I guess. Here it is. Well, I'm not saying your kits come out bad, but I mean, still, there's always prep work. There's always stuff to do for a kit, especially if you work with certain paints, and you also got to put it together. Well, I think they wanted in the beginning set up sort of 3D printing with like serial codes, where if you buy a file, you can then print out that serial code. I remember that's what they were talking about because they really wanted to stop 3D printing from going into everyone's households. But it came out so fast they couldn't like pass laws for it. So it was like the internet. It came out so fast and it boomed so quick that literally by the time all these companies and corporations wanted to stop it, it was way too late. hitting everything. Alright, I'm gonna work on the Supergirl because I don't really know how much else to work on these two. I didn't make that flat piece of Aves to do the nun's back piece. Completely forgot about it. But I did sort of sand her all down. I still got more sanding to do. Just a couple areas I still got to get into, but you can kind of see how I did a lot of sanding on her. I did a lot of wet sanding too, so I was in the bathroom and I did, it's still kind of dusty in here. But I cleaned up a lot though. There's a lot of areas I got scratches all filled out. I still got more to go in certain areas. But like there's certain, I should probably circle like this some right here I gotta fix. Still gotta get this cheek and this area fixed. Let's see. Some stuff over here. Hey, what's up, Raz? Alright, so kind of put these aside for now. There's people that collect full-size busts, but there's also people that sort of like the half-scale busts, legendary scales. I guess it depends on what you're making. Some people like to collect them, other people sort of like to collect like teams and stuff, so I guess you gotta kind of play with the market. No, there's in the monster hobby, you know, like the Monster Crew guys and stuff, there's a lot of guys that do full-blown resin casted bust heads that are not silicone or whatchamacallit, real hair. I mean, people who put them together can do that if they want, but what's with the spam? So you see what I did with Jacob's things. Like first I did the outer area, so now I'll kind of work on the S. So I'll try to make my marks. I don't know where to cut it. And then afterwards I'll sand it down flat and it should work out. I throw out the... Ow. Hold on 1 second. Father's trying to call me. He's probably screwing up the phone. 1/4 scale seems to be the best. It seems to be what everybody kind of likes. A little hole there. Damn it. A decal. With this, nah. Plus the decals, like if something this big, if I got it wrong, it would be a problem. Plus, kind of curving it too. I don't know how the decal will, because plus I want to paint it. I mean, I don't know. I think for the Superman symbols, more sculpted looks better than decals. But I mean, I mean, if I was asked to do it, I would. But I guess with this one, didn't really even cross my mind. Because I guess with the sculpted decal, I could add a little pearl into the yellow to make it shine a little bit too. Let's try this again. Hello? Hey. Yeah. What's going on? Alright, sorry about that. Father's having problems with his phone, so next time I go there, I gotta get that situated. Hey Jacob, not a good week. That's why I'm kind of working on your item at the moment. I kind of would welcome the asteroid at this point. Just end it all. So Jacob, I'm working on your S symbol. What do you think of it so far? I mean, it's messy up top, but it'll get flattened down when I sand it. It's more or less working out the edges at the moment. But once I sand it down, it'll be a little bit more smooth out, I guess you can say. But I'll show you a little bit more in a second. Camera up a little bit more, so it's kind of where I'm at with it. It's not exact, but it's got that rounded sort of edging like you said you wanted. Yeah, no problem. It's just a good, you know, if you really wanted to make legs for Wonder Woman, kind of places to look at and files to kind of see what they got out there. Yeah, because we rounded it and didn't do it thinner, it's not as thick edging, and it's not exactly like the symbol, but it's kind of close. But of course, nothing's ever really going to be exactly the same. So. When you look on CG Trader, you have to look for object files or STL, which is s.stl or .object. You can't. So when you do your fine searching, it has to be that. That's on CG Trader, because CG Trader has a lot of files that are like they're like those video game boxes, but like the file is like colored skin that goes on the box. So you have to find STL and object on CG Trader. On the other sites I sent you are pretty much STLs. Yeah, I made the mistake where I think it was a while back. I purchased an alligator file because I was going to use it for something. But when I sent it to my friend, he's like, "Oh, you sent me a skin. You didn't send me a file," which meant it's a skin that wraps around an alligator box for like a video game. So like say you found like a female legs, but they were colored or something, and they're not an STL, they're something else, then that might not work. But usually if you look up Wonder Woman stuff or superhero females, most of that stuff is like STLs anyway. Yeah, if it's 1/6, it can be scaled up, but if it's like like some of the guys on chat could explain, if it's like detailed for 1/6 and it's like you try to scale up too big, you lose all the detail. But I think 1/6 to 1/4 you can get away with it to a point. But I remember Iceman, I sent him that Supergirl file, and it was only designed for like this size print, so when you scaled it up it lost all the detail. He had to tweak it. So 1/6 I think you should be fine. Unless I'm wrong. The guys that 3D print could chime in more to that. That's it, low poly, Iceman, yeah, it's low poly email video game stuff. All right, Jacob, what do you think of that? Alright, so basically what it'll do is once it's cured down, I'll sand it down so it'll be a lot flatter. Because right now, when it's, you know, it's all warped and stuff, sticking upwards. And then that'll kind of turn it into like what I did with the past symbols. Hold on, getting it. Sorry, it's I'm gonna have to cut this stream pretty soon because the kids, aka my parents, between their phones, they're driving me nuts. I don't know what it is. As you get older, the technologies just don't know how to use a simple flip phone. Oh, good lord! I don't want to get old. If I get to that age, put me out of my misery. I just. Oh. You know how it is like in the movies where, you know, you gotta tell old people like 20,000 times and they still don't get it, and that's like where my parents are now. It's like, no, you push this button, you do this. Oh, okay. How do I do it? Yeah, Raccoon, it's kind of funny. We're the Gen X, so we're the last generation of, you know, sort of we grew with the technology. So even like going from flip phones, online, like dial-up, to Comcast, to smartphones, it's just, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do. How do I do that? How do I do that? See, my father is definitely not tech savvy at all. He never really even touched a computer in his life. So to get him like an iPhone would be a nightmare. So that's why we got him a flip phone, because you can still get like flip phones now, and even that he still has problems with. So yeah, it's dealing with the kids is kind of crazy. Hey, what's up, Terrell? Yeah, they have. Now that you mention that, Jacob, we went to the T-Mobile store, and they had elderly phones, but they were smartphones still. And my father was fiddling with it, and the problem is I don't know if you guys. My father was always work with his hands, so his thumbs and his fingerprints are shot. So anything to do with like fingerprints does not work for him. Even my mother too. Her fingerprints are like. So we got her the phone now that if you look at it, it recognizes your face and it goes on. But still with him, even with an iPad, I set up an iPad with just like card games for him, like an old iPad. And he still has problems with that. And it's just simple of just hitting the button to reset the game, and he still forgets that, you know. So yeah, it's the same thing every time. I gotta laugh though because my cousins are going through it with my aunts and uncles. We're all like, oh God, if like we're all like, if we get to that age, just shoot us, just take us out back and put us down. So now my mother just texted me, so she's telling me that she wasn't even by the phone. That's why she wasn't answering, and he was thinking it was his phone. Oh man, I tell you, it's true. Your parents become kids. They do. But then again, my mother is part of the greatest generation, which is the generation before the boomers. So she's part of that generation, and that's even like way out there. Oh man, it's just one thing after another. Well, that's the one thing. She knows how to use that coffee machine. She drinks coffee every day, so that's one thing that she is never gonna give up. But the phone stuff is just, yeah, it's oh man. It's going to be a hell of a week. Alright, so you're good with the symbol, right? It's got that rounded type edging and stuff. And once it's sanded down, I think I just need to work out this one piece a little bit. And then that'll be it. You know what's funny? I laugh. If all of us Gen Xers start ending up in elderly homes in like another 30 years, 40 years, it'd probably be the funniest elderly homes ever. It'll be just a bunch of old people listening to alternative, just not giving a total shit of what the hell they say or do. But I don't want to end up there. Yeah, they're trying to bring those cassette tapes back too, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I saw vinyl records in Walmart the other week. Oh man. Oh, what a week. Need a break. Need a break from the kids. It's kind of funny. I tried to sell off my parents' records, but they had stuff like, you know, Engelbert Humperdinck and some of those old 50s type stuff. And I went to a record store, and this was like about a month or two ago. And the guy looked at them, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to put all these in like a Goodwill donation?" He's like, "If you had like, you know, rock stuff, you know, what people really want to collect," he's like, "I would buy it, but this stuff," he's like, "I have tons of it in like the dollar bins and stuff, and nobody buys it." So I was like, "Yeah, well, it was worth a shot." Uh, yeah, I had a brother, but he passed away a few years ago. So right now it's just me. So I'm holding down the fort the best I can. But I got a bunch of cousins and stuff that kind of help me out when I need help. So I got that going. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's why I got my parents down by me and stuff. It's easier than trying to travel an hour and a half north, you know. Well, yeah, 80s, 70s, and 80s and 90s they're oldies now. I mean, if you think about it, that's what uh, 70s is like 40 years, almost 50 years ago now, and then 80s are about 40 years ago. But the funny thing is all the 80s and 90s are playing everywhere. They're on the radio. They're at supermarkets. They're in like Walmarts. You know, it's just I I don't hear anything modern except if you watch like YouTube, and everybody bitches about the modern stuff. So you know what I've noticed though? I mean, I like to sometimes at night I kind of like I don't want to watch anything on YouTube and it's late and then maybe it's like all right, I'm gonna go to bed in probably like an hour. I'll just sit through like Instagram and I come across a lot of young people singing, like you know just like kids that want to do like a cappella and sing and stuff, and they're actually like singing like a lot of '70s songs lately. You know, like Country Roads and some other songs like that. So I guess you know young kids are at least realizing that all the old stuff is better than anything new. Yeah, Devastator. Yep, definitely. There's if you go on YouTube and you watch like cover artists, there's people out there singing better songs than some new famous actor or singer or whatever they're doing. I don't know, but whatever. I mean, that's mainstream, you know, pop music and stuff. I always said that they ruined a lot of the '90s alternative music when all these garage bands came out. They were making music out of their garage and it was amazing. But once they signed record deals, all the executives are like, no, 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 we got to make music like this. You got to make it, and the bands just fell off for me. You know, you can always tell those first two albums are always amazing, and then like the third, fourth, and if they even did like a fifth or sixth, like you never even hear anything from those albums anymore. So. Like, for instance, I like Candlebox. Their first album was great. And then after they signed their deals and stuff, the second album was a And then after that, I never really even listened to them ever again. There's a couple other bands too, I forget. Faith No More is my favorite band. And their albums were always great until the band pretty much broke up and ended, so... Yeah, and also, like, I always say, like, No Doubt. I thought No Doubt was great with Gwen Stefani, but once Gwen Stefani, I always said she sold out. Basically, she sold out to record companies, and I get it. You want to make crazy amounts of money, go for it. But I thought No Doubt was a great band together, but once she broke from the band, it was like, I didn't really care for her music. To me, it was like a sellout. Don't get me wrong, the music was still okay, and a lot of people liked it, but I liked No Doubt. I didn't care for Gwen Stefani going all pop and stuff. Alright, I have to make a couple calls, and I'm sorry to cut the stream short, but this week is not a good week. So I hopefully have a better week next week, and I can start getting that cap on the Nun. And then hopefully we can get Raz's stuff in the mail. And if I do, I'll be able to sort of get back on track. I have a couple things to order as well. But I think I just squeezed something here I gotta fix real quick. But yeah. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. Sorry about the short stream, but I will see if I could get some stuff. Hopefully next week is better, so we'll see how it works.